Welcome to Theme on Screen,
I'm your host, Katelynn Michael Pedri.
and I'm your co-host, Paul Gursky.
We're here to watch and explore some of the greatest films in the history of cinema.
Each month we pick a unique theme, then whether it's at the furthest depths of our backlog or something we've seen 100 times before, we center our discussions around films that fit that theme.
This month, we're talking about sports. So whether it's the swish of the hoop, the crack of the bat, or the sound of the paddle on Timmy Chalamet's ass, we're excited to have you join us as we explore Theme on Screen.
Okay, everyone, well, welcome to episode 11. Today, I don't know, I don't have anything for the bits. Should I just say what we're talking about? Am I
As
even
in,
prepared?
do we even know what we're doing anymore? How about this?
I don't
How you
know.
doing, Paul? How you feeling today?
It seems like it's been so long since you and I have just recorded an episode, just the two of us. I'm really out of the podcasting rhythm, even though
Yeah, it was a week
it really
ago.
was about well, that was our special episode, but a full episode, it was like a month ago.
Well,
It
yeah,
was
I guess
Miracle
you're
on
right
34th Street.
because we had
It's been a long
we
time.
had a guest, so it has
Yeah.
been some time with just the two of us. Well, welcome
Well,
back.
yeah, welcome back. How are you doing, Katelynn?
I'm okay. A little gloom and doom with all the snow. Um, I haven't left the house though, so actually, I don't know why I said that. It didn't bother me in the slightest.
Oh, well, I had to drive in it yesterday and today. So yesterday, generally my drive home from work takes between 15 and 20 minutes. Yesterday, it took me an hour and 5 minutes to get home. So that was really fun.
So everybody was
And
just
yeah.
really slow, or you were the slow one?
No, I didn't even think the road conditions necessitated driving that slowly, but I think that I maxed out at 9 miles an hour.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
like a kid riding a bike.
No, it was bad. And like the roads did get pretty sloppy, but when I was leaving work, there was still road to see. Like you could get traction. So I
Yeah.
have no idea why everyone was going so slow. It was just, it was a pain. So I feel
My
you.
mom said it took her about 2.5 hours. She lives about half hour for maybe 40 on a bad day, 2.5 hours to get home.
That is ridiculous. And at points like that, I feel like our companies should just be paying us for travel time.
That, yeah, because she can't really work from home since if people come into the car dealership, they talk to her. So somebody's got to be there, I
Man.
guess.
I feel like I need
Yeah,
to
I
get a new
know.
car from Carol.
I would, but we don't lease.
Well, we do.
Yeah, well, if you want anything, let me know.
Okay, I will. You know what, Katelynn? So
Yeah.
I'm also bad because the first thing I have on our little outline for today's episode is why people are terrible now and why we can't go see movies. So would you like to hear a story, everyone?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy you brought this up because we even ended last week or our last Marty Supreme episode, and I was thanking you for your quality shushing. So I'm assuming
Yeah.
something happened again.
Something happened again. Katie and I attempted to go see a movie Monday night. We wanted to go see
Oh.
Primate. You know, I was really excited to get my first 2026 movie in. Primate does look like it's a little bit of a ridiculous movie, a monkey horror movie, but my role model, Sean Fennessy, gave it a heart on Letterboxd, so that was
That's
enough
all
of
you
an
needed to
endorsement
see.
for me. But yeah, I mean, we're sitting, I don't know, 5, 6 seats away from a couple. Maybe there were a couple. I only saw the woman. They were young. I'll say they're youths. Within no, the second the movie started, they were just talking throughout the entire previews, and their talking did not stop as soon as the movie started. So, I mean, I gave them about a minute, and then I gave one of my patented shushes. That shush did not work. So Katie gave them maybe, I don't know, another minute and said, "Could you guys please stop talking?" Their response was, "Okay, bitch." So that was, we'd been there for less than 5 minutes, and it was the last straw. We got up, we told management, we got refunds, so we were refunded for those tickets, and they gave us free tickets for another show. But like, this is once again, Katie and I have left a movie because we've asked children, I mean, whatever, maybe they're teenagers, I don't know. We've asked people to stop talking, and they have sworn at us. Like, And
Do you
I
know
don't
if they
know,
went in and said anything to these people? Like
we didn't say the last time this happened, the management, they were on the walkies, and then we did hear them say, like, "Toss them," because they told us to fuck off. So I know they got tossed the last time. This time, it seemed like she really it was a different theater, and the manager, I don't know, was probably like 100 pounds soaking wet, so it didn't seem like she really wanted to go confront a
yeah,
bunch of
confront a
youths.
fight, yeah.
But I really just want to ask, and I do have some theories, and listeners, like, this is one time I would like some feedback from you too, because what is actually going on in society that we can't go see a fucking movie without
Mhm.
people talking, or when confronted they just act like assholes? Like, in what situation, like, imagine this is a Reddit post and you're on Am I the Asshole, and you're like, I was talking during the movie and someone asked me politely to be quiet and I called them a bitch. Am I the asshole? Like, there's
Absolutely.
no world where you're not being just a terrible person in that circumstance. And, like, what are we doing that you think that's acceptable behavior? So before I
And I'm
say
sorry, did
some
you
of
tell
my
me how
thoughts,
old you thought they were?
I mean, I don't know. I think they were younger. I couldn't really tell. I did not get a good look at them because I wasn't trying to pay attention to them, but I think they were on the younger side. And honestly, that's one of the problems. I think I'm going to get into all the problems I think we have, but MJR no longer, like, you buy your tickets online mostly. There's usually never anyone at the counter, so you're either buying from a kiosk or just on the app, and you just go straight to
Nobody's
the
really checking
theater.
either, yeah, when you walk
Yeah,
in, nobody's
so
checking you.
I do think with R-rated movies like this and 28 Years Later, which is the last movie we left, and it was younger people that we had to confront, they shouldn't be in the theater in the first place. There should be someone checking their IDs and not letting people under 17 in. And maybe
Mhm.
these people were a little older, I don't know. And, like, I know it's not just the youth because, like I said, with our Hamnet experience, it was like definite boomers that were talking throughout.
Yeah.
I don't know, Caitlin. It's really discouraging because I love doing this movie podcast. I was fired up after watching the tonight's movie, and then kind of took the wind out of my sails a little bit.
I can hear the sadness in you, and that hurts because it's we always talk about movies being a communal experience, but it's communal in a silent way. Like,
Yeah.
and maybe it is the age, maybe it is the fact that, specifically maybe MJR or whichever theater is just letting anybody in, but it's also starts at home. And if these people aren't told that you go to the theater and it's a quiet place, or, maybe they, I don't know, drank before and they got excited and went over, or like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think about why they would do it. But it's like, even if I've had a couple glasses of wine at the wine bar next door and I pop over, I am a silent little fish. Like, I never say a word because I'm enjoying the experience. If you don't want to be
Hmm.
there, then don't go. If you want to be a chatty Cathy, there's benches outside. Super easy. Like,
Or if you want to talk to your friends, and I know maybe they were youths, I don't know, but, like, go to the bar. Go
go to the bar, go somewhere
if you're
else.
not 21, go to Chili's, go to Applebee's. Like, there are
Exactly.
places that you can go hang out and have a conversation. And you said alcohol, and I'm kind of wondering because I did talk to my friend Kyle about this, and he lives in Georgia, and he's just like, it's crazy that you have so many negative experiences. Like, the
Hmm.
last bad experience he could remember was during Bohemian Rhapsody. And, like, how long ago did that movie come
I don't
out?
know, 10, 11 years.
Maybe. Like, so Georgia's a little different than Michigan in that we have legal weed. Like, do you think people are just popping gummies and going to, like, giggle their asses off? Like, do you think that has something to do with it? And again, I'm pro weed, but I'm just kind of, like, racking my brain in,
Yeah,
like,
I am too.
why
I'm
people
trying to
suck.
figure out why it could be that way because it is happening quite a bit to you. And it happened to me one time when I was with you
Yeah.
both, but it's not happening that often to me. So maybe
So you think it's
could
just
it,
me and Katie were cursed
yeah, they're just
somehow?
following you.
Yeah.
Could it be the location? Like, could it be like the theater that you're going to, the people in
Well,
that
so
area?
the
Like a
first
lot of
time was
kids?
at a different MJR. I don't wanna say the exact location, but it was a different
Right.
theater, and I was like, "Okay, maybe we'll switch MJRs, we'll go to the other one."
Try
So
something
it's been
different.
2 different theaters. I mean, still both MJR chains, but yeah, different
Yeah.
theaters and same experience.
Well, my
So
when you posed this question, I just kind of wrote, what recourse do we have here? And I the only thing I could actually think of would be like ushers or having, a theater person in there at all times or like a manager standing at the front. Like you said that one time when they had the little, the walkie-talkie and
Yeah,
they actually did something. Maybe they do need to have people in there. But
and they
how do we
used to
get
do that.
them to do that?
I mean, I think we have to
Like a
complain enough.
feedback button? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I am gonna write a strongly. Katie responded to their post about like the magic of cinema or something the other day with,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
just
it's
like
great when
and
well, yeah, she's like, "It's great when I can actually come to your theater and listen or hear a movie without people
Mhm.
talking the entire time." I mean, we do have to do something, and I'm not sure what. I do think, yeah, maybe having an authority figure, like maybe if it's just one or two like security guards that periodically just walk in,
Yeah,
but
they used to do that. I mean, didn't they used
they
to have,
did.
like well, because your seats were assigned, so they would have and
Yeah,
periodically check random tickets and things like that.
yeah,
Maybe we need to get
and
back to that.
I don't want to turn movies into a police state, but then like it just seems like collectively we've just agreed that I don't know, we're all the main characters in our own story, and we don't have to respect other people. And did COVID break our brains to a point that like we just don't know how to be in public anymore? Because it's been over for a while now, and I feel like I don't know why we collectively decided that the social contract is just null and void, and we can't just
Mhm.
behave like normal human beings.
So sad. It's just so sad
So.
because we do love going to the movies. I mean, obviously, we started a podcast about movies. We want to be at the theater, and we don't wanna be discouraged from going, and that's discouraging.
Well, I don't even know if we talked about this on the pod yet, but I think last week we talked about Marty Supreme, and
Mhm.
we're centering our month's discussion on sports. So our idea going forward was kind of to pick a current movie in theaters and then center the month's discussion on that current movie, the theme.
It's gonna
But
be
like,
really difficult to do that now.
yeah, if I don't ever want to go to a fucking theater again, like how are we going to do that? So
Yeah.
I am willing to try a different chain. I think we talked about it, and we might try going to Imagine to see if somehow that is any different at all. And again, it's a different area. It's, it's Rochester, so maybe a little upper crust. Maybe the people there are more respectful, but
Well, and
I
maybe
honestly don't know.
they do have that implemented where they have people randomly walking around doing random checks, or maybe they have more managers on duty during high peak times, something like that. You just never
Hmm.
know. I don't know. We've
I know.
always had
I like.
decent experiences at Imagine.
So the
Seats
closest
are nice.
theater to Matt Turner as well is an MJR, and he's like, this never happens to us. So I don't know. Maybe the right answer is that Katie and I are just cursed, but something really just it has to be done. I want to be able to enjoy the experience of going to the cinema, and I guess we can segue into Golden Globes chatter now. And I guess this just kind of reminds me of what Stellan Skarsgård said when he won Best Supporting Actor, that, cinema is cinema and should be seen in cinema, which, man,
Uh-huh.
I love that sentiment, but it's
But
becoming
he's
so hard for
not in
me
the
to do.
theater with the masses. Like he's
Well, yeah,
not
and I also is there something regional about Michigan? I'll stop talking about it now, but like I know New York and LA are obviously very big film cities, and I listen to Big Picture and like all the other movie podcasts that I like, and these guys are in the big cities and they're probably seeing movies with other film fans and other critics, so they're probably getting a lot more respectful audiences. And I don't know,
Mhm.
is there something just like in the air in Metro Detroit that just makes people like just jackasses? I don't know. I really
I
don't
literally
know, but
remember and then we'll go to the next topic, but listening to one of those episodes of Big Picture, and Sean said that he was, I think, watching Frankenstein, and fucking Jacob Elordi just came and sat next to him,
yeah,
and it was just like, who cared? Like, no one said anything to him. He just sat down and watched the movie with everybody. He was laughing a lot. Well, not laughing, but I think he laughed a few
that
times,
was
I
not a
think
funny
Sean said.
movie.
It wasn't
Maybe.
funny, but I think he chuckled or something, and Sean said something about it, but it was just like, yeah, if you can have a celeb in the theater and no one says a word, like, how come we can't sit at Primate for the 2 hours of this fucking movie and not hear your story about Steve who didn't wanna go out with you? Nobody gives a fuck. Everybody shut up.
And Primate is a tight 90 too. It didn't even need to be 2
Oh,
hours. It's just a tight
there you
90.
go. There you go.
Okay, so yeah, the Golden Globes. I didn't really write much down about the Golden Globes because I'm almost I've been listening to so much awards chatter between the Big Picture and some of the other movie podcasts I like Blank Check, that man, awards are just kind of stupid, aren't they? I'm so happy for the people that won, but then like I just hear the people that are really like kind of in the industry talking about like how it's so and so's time, or so and so didn't get this award, so they're gonna get this
Yeah.
award, and it's not even like well, is it the best movie or like what is going on? And so
Or
there's
is
just
it
so
just
much
that
like
they have been trying so hard and they have
yeah.
been, campaigning so hard? I only saw it once, but I thought it was funny. And I love Timothy, but someone was like, I know that Kylie bought that award for him. I can't prove it, but I know she did. I don't think he wasn't deserving, but I think you're right when you're saying this whole, like, is it their time? Like, have they earned it? And that kind of mindset, because now he's on this trajectory to win, because that's how it usually goes, right? They get the SAG, they get the Golden Globe, and then they get the Oscar, and he's already got the 2. So it's kind of like Leo's out, and I thought he gave a great performance too, but now he's got no chance.
Yeah, and I mean, the Academy of voters are different too. They're old dudes, so
That's
I
true.
guess
That's true.
maybe the Academy is a little more diverse than it used to be. Who knows? But I mean, I this stuff's still exciting, and I might just be doing a disservice to myself by listening to just way too much behind the scenes or inside baseball podcasts when it comes to award
Mhm.
season. But yeah, happy for Timmy, like well deserved. And, I'm so sometimes in big picture pilled, and like I am guilty of only listening to that sometimes, that Sean and Amanda were saying that Leo was the front runner. And I didn't really realize that as soon as I started listening to some other podcasts, most people don't think that. They thought
Don't think
Timmy
he's
was
the
the front
front
runner.
runner. Okay.
So yeah, now that I'm out of my bubble a little bit, like good on you, Timmy. I'm really happy for Stellan Skarsgård. I think everyone said that was maybe the biggest surprise of the night, that it wasn't Sean Penn or Benicio. And like I said before, when we talked about sentimental value, I just thought he was amazing in that movie. So happy that he's
Yeah.
got some buzz. And yeah, I'm still gonna watch the Oscars. Still excited to see the nominations next week. Maybe fill out some of the 2025 movies that I haven't seen yet, depending on what gets nominated. But
Well, you know what I saw, Paul?
what?
No Other Choice.
Oh, you did see No Other
Oh
Choice.
my god, it was so good. That's what I'm
I'm
talking
excited to
about.
see that one.
That got me hyped. After I was done, I literally put in my review, I'm like, "That's what I'm talking about." Like, that
Yeah.
felt like cinema to me, and I got hyped up again. The same way, like, Katie said when she walked out of Marty Supreme and her hands were, like, sweaty, was kind of what I felt when I walked out of One Battle After Another, because my body was tensed up the whole time, and I felt like I was also in One Battle After Another. And then watching this one, I was just like, I don't know what he's gonna do. Oh, wait, yes, I do. No, I don't. Oh my god, is that and then oh, it was just so good. Plus, you know how I really love, like, Korean cinema, Korean television shows, things like that. And I just thought it was I just thought it was so good. Oh my gosh. Four
I'm
and a half.
excited to see that one. I think last episode when we were talking to Katie, I mentioned that Jaws was one of my favorite new movies last year, but The Handmaiden was also one that I saw for the first time that
Okay,
is
yep,
several
I'm
years
gonna
on.
watch that
So
one.
yeah, one of his previous films, and I absolutely loved that movie. And I guess I should probably get around to watching Old Boy at some point too, because
Old Boy is out of bounds, probably one of
yeah,
my favorite of all time.
I think I do know the like spoiler ending thing in Old Boy, and I always have thought it was a little bit gross, so maybe that's why I've kind of bounced off of it for so many years, but I'm willing to watch it.
Get a little gross. Dig in a
Yeah.
little bit.
I mean, I've seen so much of Game of Thrones at this point that a little bit of spoiler alert for Old Boy incest, like I don't know, is it gonna bug me as much anymore? I don't know. I'm saying I don't know a lot.
Wow, we're so desensitized. Well, I always say I think a lot, and when I'm listening back to our episodes, I'm like, "Can this girl just shut up? Like, can she
I'll try to
stop
cut more
saying
I
I think?"
thinks for you.
Yeah, like,
I do
I
so many
think.
you knows. I hate it.
I never noticed you did "you-knows."
I cut so many of them out.
You cut so many "you-knows."
I do, because
Can
I
you
say
send
it
me
so
those?
often.
And then I will
Just
make
send
it
a
into
super
a
cut
reel.
of me
Yeah,
saying,
just a supercut of Paul saying, or a supercut of all the times you've complained about people in the theater.
I don't want a super cut of that. I don't want it anymore.
I don't wanna talk about it anymore. Well, I think that we talked about Timothy, that's good. I did want to note that I might be a psychic because I said that K-pop Demon Hunters would win, but I think we knew that.
Yeah, I'm happy for them, and I'm gonna be really happy to see them perform at the Oscars, hopefully. If
I'm
they're
gonna
not
cry.
performing, the Oscar programmers are idiots, so
I'm gonna cry. I cried
yeah.
last year when Ariana and Cynthia sang the Defying Gravity. I can't survive that song, and that was another reason that I didn't love the For Good because where was the big number? Where was my big tear-jerky number? Was it supposed to be "Because I Knew You,"
That song is really good, but I
right?
feel
That's
like the
supposed to
way
be
that it
it?
was kind of filmed in the movie isn't nearly as good as it just is on the soundtrack or in the stage version.
Yeah, I needed those tears to flow. Sometimes you just need to cry. You get it.
Yeah, just always.
No.
Anything else about the Golden Globes? I did have, one fun question I kind of thought, but we kind of, it's middle of January already, so maybe it's a little late. But do you have any movie-related New Year's resolutions that you would like to make?
My movie-related New Year's resolution is to keep watching, and all of the movies that we have discussed that I haven't seen, I would like to watch those. Um, and then I wrote seeing more films in the theater, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
I kind of feel like one of the solutions maybe is we just go in like a huge group. Like if we roll up 10 people deep, and if there's just like two little shitheads talking, all 10 of us
We
just
all
like
just
become really
shush at the same
intimidating.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. Or we take turns just going to get management. So like we don't have to miss the movie every time. I don't even know if I have, I guess if it's the four of us, I don't know if I have six other friends that want to go see movies with me,
I just
but
thought of something. I just thought of something. This is crazy. Could we buy out a theater? How much does it actually cost to buy? Don't laugh at me. It can't be that much money, right? Like 200 bucks?
I think there are more tickets are like $10 a
No, no,
person.
no,
Like,
but you no, but you
oh,
buy
you mean
it
just rent the
specifically.
theater?
Yeah, like you say we'd like to watch this movie. They play it outside of their normal
Yeah, 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 yeah.
playing times. Like 200
I don't
bucks. I
know how
mean,
much it costs.
what
I
does a
think it's
banana
maybe more
cost?
than $200.
$200.
In this economy, that's probably not far from true.
That's
Um,
not false.
okay, so I had a couple that for my resolutions, things that I just wanted to try. I wanted to do more international cinema. Speaking of
Okay.
something like no other choice, I want to pick I think either an actor or director, probably a director, and really just go through their entire filmography, like fill in all the blind spots that I have for them. The easiest for me for that would be Wes Anderson, because the only movie I haven't seen is Bottle Rocket, so I could do that real quick. But I think I want to pick someone like Yorgos Lanthimos and just go through a lot of his older movies and yeah. And then I also, speaking of going to see movies in person, I would like to go to one of the like movie theaters in Detroit, like the Redford Theater or the Senate Theater, and see like what they play older movies and stuff. Like around my birthday, I think Jurassic Park is playing, so something like that I think would be fun. And
Paul.
maybe going to see a movie there with real cinema fans would be a quieter experience.
We're gonna go back to it again because I'm gonna say maybe that's also something, like, maybe we just need to find other cinema people, instead
Yeah.
of MJR on a Friday night when the kids are getting dropped off by their parents. Again, partial shade to kids, not total shade to kids. It could be anybody, but shut up.
Shut up for sure.
Shut up.
When we
Everybody
talked
shut
to
up.
management at MJR the last time this happened, she had mentioned that in her opinion, she thought parents were treating the movies as basically like a babysitter now
Babysitting.
that the
Yep.
malls don't exist as much, or like kids
I knew
aren't even allowed
exactly.
in malls without a guardian at certain times. So like yeah, in my day we did go hang out at the mall. Like can't do that anymore though because the mall barely exists.
I saw a girl do a reel. She works at Chuck E. Cheese, and she said the same thing. And obviously, that's for like younger kids, probably 8 years old and whatever. But it was like, don't just drop your kids off because they'll be safe, but they're not watched. Like
Yeah.
we're working,
We are
so
not babysitters. I mean, it sucks for everyone. I understand. Don't drop your fucking kids off. Uh, yeah. So those are my resolutions, and I think we've tied bitching about people in movie theaters into all three of the like pre-show chatter questions or things that we had. So
yeah.
cool,
Well,
really fun
I
way to
would
start off the
say
episode.
I can segue us in because another director that would be great and you'd have a lot of movies to choose from to fill in your blanks would be Martin Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese. Why are we talking about him?
That's
What
so
movie did
weird
we
that you
watch this
said
week,
that.
Katelynn?
That's so random. This week we watched The Color of Money. It's green.
Oh man, that was one of my questions for the end of the episode. I was gonna be
No!
like, man, what color is
And
money?
in the end, what color was money? We're getting
All
to
right.
know each other too well.
We sure are. So let me go over the cast of this movie really quick. We have Paul Newman reprising his role from The Hustler as Fast Eddie Felson. We have Tom Cruise as Vincent Loria. Hang on, I've got to take off my hoodie. I'm getting a little too hot. Had what?
Shirt. I'm crying. Everybody, this
Something?
guy just whipped out a Vince shirt. If you've watched The Color of Money, this is Vincent's number one piece of gear. Where did you get that?
Doesn't everyone just have their own Vince shirt? I thought this was
Yeah,
just
actually, hold on one second. I forgot
like a
mine.
members only jacket or something. It's just, one of those fashion things.
Did you order this
No.
specifically, or did you already have it?
No, I ordered this specifically for the
You're
episode.
such a
Mm,
dupa.
I'm pretty good. This is my commitment to podcasting, everyone.
Yeah, wow. Well, and it's also helping you create a larger wardrobe. You have more to
Yeah,
choose from.
it's
If
just
there's gonna be
another black t-shirt.
one guy out there that's gonna be like, "Is that a Vince shirt, man? Nice. Color of Money?
I
Yeah."
I hope people don't think it's a Vince McMahon t-shirt, because fuck that guy.
Oh, I thought it was Vince Vaughn. I thought it was like a Vince Vaughn thing.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
sure. I'd take that over Vince McMahon. Anyway, back to the cast. We have Mary Elizabeth Master Antonio as Carmen, Helen Shaver as Janelle, and then John Turturro in one of his earliest parts is Julian, and Forrest Whitaker has a brief part
Yeah.
as Amos. And according to Wikipedia, Iggy Pop's in the movie as skinny player
Yes.
on Road.
Yes,
I
I
didn't notice
saw
Iggy
him.
Pop. Wow.
He was the one who was he kinda like and then he sat on the high top chair, what do you call that? The
High
bartending
top
seat, and
chair.
he just kinda, like, gave him the money like
Barstool.
that. The bar stool, yes. You know I don't remember words very well, and I just name it something. Yes, I noticed him, I saw him. One time I saw him in the, garage of my spa. He lives above my spa.
Oh, that's cool. I did know he was a native of the great state of Michigan. I didn't know he still lived here, but cool.
Well, it was a few years ago, he might have moved, I don't know.
No.
Who knows? Do you want me to
Um,
go over the plot first, or do you wanna talk about your other
other what? This your
you
time to shine.
you wrote director thoughts and,
Oh, well, we can go over the plot and then we can talk about Mr.
okay.
Scorsese.
All right, yeah. Good guy, good guy. Okay, so The Color of Money is basically like, what if the greatest pool hustler ever retired, but actually still really wanted to play? So Paul Newman's Fast Eddie Felson is older, rich, and selling liquor instead of playing pool that he loved. I've never seen The Hustler, but I assume he loved the game.
He's a
Um,
hustler.
He's a hustler. What else can you say? Then Tom Cruise shows up as Vincent, this crazy talented pool guy, and he has zero chill about how good he is about playing. He wins too fast. He's really flashy about it. Eddie decides like kind of a I can fix this energy and takes Vincent and Vincent's unimpressed girlfriend Carmen on the road. At first his mentor vibes are like Eddie teaching him how to lose on purpose, read suckers, make real money, but pretty quickly it turns into a power struggle and Vincent won't listen and Eddie's ego comes roaring back. By the end, Eddie's not coaching anymore. He's back in the game trying to prove he still got it. They end up at this big tournament. There's no hustling, right? No losing on purpose kind of vibes. It's just like the straight up pool of it. Eddie and Vincent face off and it's tense. Eddie wins, but here's the twist. It's not about the money or even beating Vincent at that point. It's Eddie proving to himself that he still has the fire. He doesn't need to manage someone else's talent anymore and he needs to own his own. Um, and then the movie ends on Eddie walking back into the world of pool on his own, not as a hustler and not as a mentor, just as a guy who finally admits like, yeah, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. It's less of a victory lap and more of an acceptance moment.
Great summary. I would like to
Cool.
add a few things if that's okay.
Okay, mine was a general overview. You are more than welcome to fill in my blanks.
So I think you can watch this movie completely on its own. You don't have to have seen The Hustler. But I think one important thing to note about The Hustler is in that movie, or I guess in this movie, Eddie's not quite retired. At the end of the movie, he kind of gets involved with a rich, unscrupulous person, almost like Eddie himself is like a stake horse. And because of that person, the woman that Eddie is seeing kills herself. And then he basically tells Eddie that if he ever sees him in a pool hall again, he will kill him. So it's not that he necessarily retired so much as he was forced out of the pool game.
Oh,
So
maybe I should have said something about that.
I think it adds a little bit of context, but also, again, I think that you can watch this movie as a standalone movie, and if you thought he was just a retired player, that's also fine. But
Honestly, if I hadn't gone to IMDb, I probably wouldn't even have known that The Hustler existed. Like, no
yeah,
offense to anybody. And they, if you, so unless you knew about The Hustler, then you would miss that portion. Like you're saying,
yeah.
like, I know this and it's gone and I missed that it was there and it should have been. But for me, who hasn't seen it, that it doesn't matter to me. And now that you told me it matters.
Yeah, so that is also, I will say, a movie I have seen and is a really good movie, and I would recommend watching that movie as well. So that's the only context I wanted to add to the plot.
Right on. Okay.
Cool. So yeah, we wanted to. Sometimes we don't talk about the director, but I think this one's
Yeah.
actually important because it's
Well, I think
Martin
it is
Scorsese.
important. It because it's Martin Scorsese. You're right. We do need to talk about him. Do you have any favorites of his? I noticed you watched something new
We
recently.
did watch something new after this, so we kind of inadvertently did a Scorsese double feature. We watched The Wolf of Wall Street after this one. Some of my favorite. So I do have a lot of blind spots, and I, like you said, I think he would be a great director for me to
Yeah.
jump in and see some of his other movies. But I think my favorite overall is The Departed. Yeah, that's my favorite overall. First movie of his that I remember seeing was Gangs of New York. That was right around the time I was. Speaking of youth in theaters, I was 17, and I remember going to see it with my friend that wasn't 17. And so we
Uh-oh.
tried to go see it at
Oh.
Great Lakes Crossing, and they wouldn't let us in because I wasn't her, I
See?
wasn't
Where's that
21.
person?
So we went to another theater, and I just bought the 2 tickets without her at the counter, and then we just went in. But you know what? We watched the movie
You
without
were
talking,
quiet.
and so yeah.
Yeah, you were really
Yeah.
quiet.
So there's other movies I've seen, obviously, but I wrote down Taxi Driver and Raging Bull as just like the 2 movies that I haven't seen that I think I'm looking forward to seeing the most. And I guess for more current, I would really like to see Shutter Island as well.
Wow. So we have pretty much the same list. So
Yeah,
two
cool,
two of
cool,
my
cool.
favorites of his are I love The Departed. Like I
Departed's really
don't
good.
yeah, I don't talk a lot about that style of movies. But that one I love, and I mean, I ask my husband all the time if he's a fucking cop. So I do really like that movie. I think that's a great cast, great chemistry.
Hmm.
And I did put The Wolf of Wall Street because even though I've only seen it once, it is something that I think about a lot. There's a lot of memes, like a lot of people do like that one, and I like Leo, so um and yeah, blind spots were Taxi Driver. We have not seen Killers of the Flower Moon, and then I put Shutter Island because I probably should have seen that one by now too.
Yeah.
But
I have seen Killers of the Flower Moon, and I like that one far more than Katie did. So your mileage may vary. It's a very long movie,
it's
and
long.
Katie
Yeah,
was not happy with the length of that movie. She thought it was a little bit too long.
Katie not
Um,
happy with the length of a movie. What do you
I
mean?
know, the woman that loves a tight 90. Yeah, so that is Martin. One thing that I did read about this movie, so a lot of the movies that we just mentioned, Martin Scorsese has a very specific style, and a lot of times he goes into a project like he's obviously a famous auteur director. With this movie in particular, he was kind of in Hollywood jail a little bit, so this wasn't
Felt
necessarily like
different.
a yeah, this wasn't a passion project for him or anything. This was a job. Paul Newman
Hmm.
did specifically pick him, but I think there is a reason this one feels different because it's a job more than it's a Martin Scorsese movie. And honestly, when I picked this movie, I didn't even know he directed it because I don't think
No, I
this
didn't know either.
always comes up as one of his better movies.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
that and he rarely does sequels, so
right.
that was different for him. But I mean, even one of the notes that I wrote, and I don't know where it is in my pages, but I'm like, where's the blood and the fighting and the guns? Like, I'm like, I don't get it. Is
There's
this not
very
him?
little
Did he not do
violence in
this?
this movie.
Yeah, except for the one of him getting beat up by the other players
Yeah,
after that one hustle. Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit then about well, let's go to cast because you did just talk about it. So we can do cast
sure. We
next.
can we
Does
can
that
jump into
sound
the
good?
cast before we do themes. Sure.
Okay. Getting a little wild with it. Uh, my first note was Paul Newman, salad dressing. I thought he was great. I really hope that his career went somewhere, I really hope that something good happened to him. I thought he was wonderful.
What if
Uh,
I told you this was the only movie he ever starred in?
what if I told you? Uh, and then he won Best Oscar, or won Best
But Best
Oscar,
Oscar.
Best Actor. Am I okay?
I always
Don't
answer that
don't answer
question
that.
no,
Don't
but
answer that.
yes, his one and only Best Actor award, and I believe the year prior to this, he was given kind of just like an honorary Oscar because he hadn't won one yet, and then people thought this was just kind of a makeup Oscar because he hadn't won. Like we were talking about earlier in the awards race, that people think that he was just kind of given this one because it was his
Didn't they
time,
do
not
that?
really his best performance.
I feel like they did that to someone else too recently. I wanna say Brad
They
Pitt, but that's not right.
um I think with Oppenheimer, even though that was a great movie, a lot of people were like, it's Nolan's time. I mean, you're hearing so much of that this year with PTA. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's his time. It's his time. Granted, those people are younger and they probably will put out more movies. And obviously, Paul Newman put out more movies after this, too. But it's just one of those silly things.
And dressing.
And dressing. He still, his dressing will live on
Yeah,
long
his
after.
dressing will live
I
on
mean,
forever
I don't know. He died a long
on
time
top of
ago,
my
but.
salad. Did you have anything you wanted to say about Paul besides that? Paul on Paul?
Well, I did note that he was 61 when this movie came out, and Tom Cruise was 23. I believe Tom Cruise is 63 currently, so almost the same age Paul Newman was when this movie was released, which is just kind of interesting. And that, like, by a lot of people consider this the real Hollywood passing of the torch movie. Old star kind of handpicking a young star that will take his place. And I was just kind of looking up recent movies that have done that, and a lot of people think Top Gun Maverick was Tom Cruise passing the torch to Glenn
To
Powell. Like Glenn
Glenn
Powell,
Powell, yeah.
yeah, it was kind of his handpicked successor. And then the Scream franchise did a good job doing it too until they fired the two new stars and brought everyone
Yeah.
else back. So yeah, just kind of an interesting idea, like the meta narrative of, because I think that does play into the whole plot of the movie too. This
Yeah,
older player trying
because
to
he's
kind of pass
teaching
things on.
him to hustle,
Hmm.
teaching him to be in Hollywood, hustle
Yeah.
Hollywood.
So there's real a meta narrative, and this was a project that Paul Newman really wanted to do. So I think he
Yeah.
was obviously really aware of his career and picked Cruise intentionally. And this is right before Cruise blew up, because I think this is the same year as Top Gun, right?
Yes, that was something else that I wrote because he had just finished shooting Top Gun, and then he had to go back for some reshoots for like the last scenes of it. And I guess he still had his kind of pompadour little hair. And so they had to, I can't remember what they did, but I read a note of something. They like gave him a hat
Cool.
or shot him in a different way so you couldn't tell that his hair looked silly because it wouldn't make sense in the sense of things. But you were right. Yes, right before him blowing up, and it was kind of fun to see him as that young naive kind of guy, early days.
Yeah, because he's just. I was looking at his filmography the other day, and he's an actor that has just kind of always been present in my life, but I was trying to figure out the first movie that I was old enough to actually really see him in.
Or yeah, or like
And
even when you actively not Mission Impossible, go to see something with Tom Cruise.
yeah. But what about, let's circle back to Paul Newman a
Sure.
little bit. Like, are there any other movies that you can remember seeing of his that you,
Not a
or
damn
does
thing, Paul.
Paul Newman a
Not
pretty,
a
yeah,
damn thing. Uh,
pretty big blind spot,
unless my
eh?
mom was probably watching something, I feel like she might have been into him. She was
She
more
probably
she
was.
was a Robert Redford kind of girl, though.
Well, Redford and Newman did so many movies together, or at least two big ones that I can think of.
I mean, unless
Um,
you've seen Cars. Apparently, he was in Cars.
he was in Car. Oh wow, I do see that on
That's
his
what it says.
Wikipedia right now.
Yeah.
Well, I have seen a couple other. Obviously Butch and Sundance. That's a big Redford Newman joint. That's a good one that I've seen, and I've seen The Hustler. So, but certainly, yeah, just an like I was saying with directors, Paul Newman, I think, is an actor that I would like to go through more of his filmography because
You're gonna be
he
here
is
a while,
great.
friend. You're gonna be here a while. There are
Maybe
so
not the
many here.
entire
Holy
filmography,
mackerel.
but yeah, I guess it's
For all
almost
these movies and I've seen nothing, am I am I even a cinephile?
no, that's what the point of this podcast is. We're becoming better cinephiles.
Maybe I have seen The Road to Perdition.
I've seen Road to Perdition as well.
Oh, and you know what? We had to watch Cool Hand Luke in my film class.
Okay, so you've seen some Paul Newman movies.
Okay, I have seen a little bit of P. Newman.
Well, where does he fall on your hotness scale?
That's a good question. I thought he was hotter later in the movie when he had to get the new glasses and everything. I thought he
Oh
looked really
yeah.
good. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, okay, got it. Hotness scale though, for a decently old dude as now I'm getting
What about
older.
when he was younger, though?
6?
Oh, just 6, man, I think you're gonna get a
Yeah.
lot of hate for that one.
Really?
Paul Newman's a sex symbol.
Well,
Okay, well,
I get a
those are
lot
the
of
2
hate on
leads
this
of the
already,
movie.
so
I did think Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio was fantastic in this movie as well.
really?
Really? You did not like her?
She was very pretty. She was
Wow.
very pretty. But I feel like she she's just, like, there. Is
Well,
that
I thought
bad?
she I don't know, know, because I almost thought there was
Like,
the
and why did they
relationship
have her
between him and
naked?
Vincent. Well,
What
yeah,
was the point?
that was some
She could have had
unnecessary nudity,
like, that was
but
unnecessary nudity.
it was unnecessary nudity because the point would have gotten across with just her being in her underwear like she is in subsequent
Yeah.
scenes. But I do think she was using her body in a way to try to throw Fast Eddie off. Like it seems like that's something that she's probably done with men before, using her sexuality to try to control them. And he makes it very
Mhm.
clear very quickly that he's not going to fall for that
He's
shit.
not gonna get
So
hustled by this hustler.
yeah, exactly. And that's kind of, she was a hustler.
She
He was
was.
training Tom Cruise in the art of the game, but he was training her in the art of the hustle. The two of them kind of equaled him because Tom Cruise was just kind of a lovable doofus and she's the one with the brains. So I just thought she was really good. The way that she just so quickly adapted to, pretty much like he kind of basically gives her a look at the beginning of the movie and is like, hey, just get out of here so that we can fuck with Vincent so that he can get jealous and then he'll agree to go on the road with us. I don't know. Just, she was very
I
pretty. I guess you're right.
Yeah, I guess so too. I mean, yeah, she was very pretty. Uh, I just ugh, I don't know. I liked her. I think I just wish they had done a little bit more with her because I even wrote that, at the beginning, she's talking about how she met Vincent, and she's like, "Well, my boyfriend robbed his family, and now I have this necklace." And Vincent just says, "Oh, my mom has that same necklace because he's so
Yeah.
doofusy.
Because
He
he's
doesn't
such an
realize it's the
idiot.
same fucking necklace." And I
Yeah.
was just like, but they never come back to that. And like Vincent never finds out that she hustled him, I guess. And then does she actually want to be with him? Because is she just there for the hustle and it's benefiting her? I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess
exactly.
I
I
needed to
mean,
know. I
I
just
think that's
needed
100% there though.
more. Well,
Like
I needed more clarity.
I thought it was clear.
Yeah, because you had Google eyes.
I I don't know. I don't think I had Gugu eyes. Sh- She was pretty, but I thought her character was good too. I liked how she was always smoking cigarettes.
We do love a little smoking of a cigarette. Um, now I forget what I was gonna say.
I don't know what you were going to say either. You've really thrown me off. Do you want to say what we thought about the movie now? Because I'm really concerned you hated it since you hated her character. I know we usually save this for the end, but I just want to know.
You want me to
Also,
just tell you if I liked it or not right away?
Yeah, yeah, because I want to say Katie and I both really, really liked this movie. We had a great time watching it.
I didn't not like it. I think I'm
You
gonna give it
hated
a
it.
3. I think I'm gonna give it a half. Like, I think I'm gonna get it half. Like, it's
All right.
a 60% out of 100. A little over
I would give
half.
it, if we're doing letterbox, I'm giving it a 4.5. 4.5 easy.
Things are really gonna turn the tide in February
Because we don't need to
because
talk
it's
about
all about
February yet.
romance.
Yeah, but I picked out 2 of the movies that you haven't
I picked
seen.
out
And I already,
2.
yeah, but I don't even get to see one of them because you kicked me off the podcast for the last one.
Do you wanna come? You can sit a couple rows behind us.
Yeah, and I'm just going to talk the whole time to my teenage friends.
What do you guys think of this movie? It sucks. Shut up.
Okay.
We skipped plot. Is that where you wanted to go back to? I'm sorry.
We can
We
go back
get
to
totally
anything.
derailed.
I actually realized I put everything I put under plot were my themes. I don't even think I took any notes for plot, so I thought the plot was a lot
Uh,
of fun.
okay. Well, hold on.
Oh
Where's
wait,
my
no, I do.
plot? I can get you going. I can get you like started if you
So,
want. You want
well,
me to get
okay, I did
started?
have one thought about just, I guess it's a general thought about the plot, but specifically thinking about this movie in conjunction with The Wolf of Wall Street, since we watched it right afterwards. You say that I'm kind of, I've got, I don't know, something as far as like classic movies or whatever, but I do think something like this kind of lifestyle that is portrayed in the movie, like a little bit booze soaked, smoking cigarettes, dingy pool halls, like just
It's
there's
really
a
appealing.
certain, yeah, well, I do think there's a certain romance to that, whereas like the extravagance of something like The Wolf of Wall Street is just not something that appeals to me as much. Like, I don't know, just kind of being on the road with like, Matt Turner hustling people at pool halls. Maybe Katie's on my arm. We're smoking some Marlboros, like drinking some Budweisers. Like that just seems like the perfect life to me.
That's funny because actually The Wolf of Wall Street is more my speed anyway.
Yeah, you
So
wanna be doing cocaine out
I
of
wanna
hookers'
be
asses?
look, whatever gets me through the day. I was thinking more the yacht, but, like,
Oh,
whatever you were thinking, I've been craving some caviar lately. I just that's my speed.
man, give me some pretzels and a lukewarm beer.
I'm not saying I wouldn't, like, show up to one of your hustles. I'm just saying I'm gonna go back to my helicopter after.
Yeah, but that's kind of it's just something I was yeah, uh, everything about this movie just seemed so, yeah, there's just a certain romance that really
So
appealed to me.
strangely romantic. I
Yeah,
looked at it in the scope of Marty Supreme, actually. I thought that it had a lot of similarities besides sport. Um, I just kind of the winning versus the meaning behind the winning. Does the win really mean anything if you're not actually happy? Is winning all there is? And I also wrote that Marty really could have used like an Eddie to kind of focus him. Like he could have hustled better and probably been less shitty of a person if somebody just directed him in the hustle.
yeah. Oh, I actually
He
agree
needed
with
an
that.
Eddie.
One of my notes for I think it was just under miscellaneous thoughts, but like, this movie was really perfect to pair with Marty Supreme because they
It
are so
was,
similar
yeah.
in a lot of ways. I think if you combined Vincent's character with Carmen's character, you kind of get Marty. Um, she's the hustler, Vincent is the talented idiot.
Mhm.
So, and yeah, it is kind of like what if that talented idiot had someone that used to be a talented idiot and now is kind of a wizened person guiding them in the correct way. But also, everyone in both of those movies can't get out of the way of their own egos. So, yeah, it was. I did write that I think it would be really interesting if in 20, 25 years, Timmy came back to portray Marty, like an older, wizened Marty, Marty Supreme too, the color of
Yeah.
ping pong. I don't know, like
More
just,
supreme.
yeah, more Supreme.
More supreme, more ping pong.
I don't know if you'd want to do anything like that, but it could just be really interesting.
I mean, he's not opposed to doing sequels, and
That's
what do you
true.
call
We're
the
gonna get a
third
third Dune movie trilogy.
like, trilogy, oh my god, I almost said triquel!
Let's go with Triquel. That we've just coined a new term, everyone. I am so
A
excited
sequel and
for
a
Dune
triquel.
3, the Triquel to Dune 2.
This is what I do if I don't know the word, I just make up a word, like, and I've been doing it my old age, and I think I got it from my mom because I was she made up so many words when we were kids that I'm like, "Mom, stop saying that."
Thank you, Carol. You gave birth to a great podcaster. You raised her
Oh,
right.
oh, she's gonna love that. Cinematic?
Cinematic. Oh, we didn't. Do you want to talk about themes? We haven't talked about themes.
Oh, shucks.
So,
This is what happens when we bounce around.
I
The
know
podcast gets
this podcast
completely unhinged.
the podcast about themes in movies skips over themes entirely. So there is a book about David Foster Wallace, and it was turned into a movie with Jason Segel and Jesse Eisenberg. Do you happen to remember that? It doesn't
The
matter.
Social
The
Network?
Yes. The name of that book is it's a quote from David Foster Wallace that he says during the interviews. It's although of course you end up becoming yourself. And I feel like that was kind of the theme of this movie. Was that too deep for you? Am I getting like
Like,
super pretentious by
is it in terms of Eddie or is it in terms of Vincent?
I was thinking
Because
of
the
it in
first
terms of
half of the
Eddie.
movie was very Vince focused, and then it switched near that last half hour 45 where you were more focused on the journey of Eddie,
I think viewed from the
right?
context of the ending of the movie was really about Eddie. Like Vincent was just kind of
His vehicle to try to
yeah.
change something or
I mean, to be get back to the person that he was trying to hide from who he was for, I don't know, 20, 25 years, however long it's been since The Hustler. And the version of himself that we find at the end of the movie is the version of him that used to exist. Maybe a little bit older, maybe a little
so
bit wiser.
so then it would be important to at least know something about the hustler because then that makes sense to me when you say that he wanted to get back to who he was because it seemed most of the time he didn't want to be who he was or,
Oh,
you
see, I
know
thought he was just kind of, trying to keep himself from becoming that. He was older. He was a liquor salesman now. He wasn't
he was even hustling
he
the
he
liquor,
he
Paul.
he was a liquor hustler. He
He
he was
was
still all about the
liquor
hustle,
hustling.
but I just think there was something about young Vincent that reminded him of himself because he was obviously staking other hustlers, like John Turturro's character. Like he was giving him
Yeah.
money, he was letting him hustle, but there was something about Vincent specifically that reminded him of himself and made
Yeah.
him want to get back into the game.
Speaking of John Turturro, that was so wild because I saw his name at the beginning and I'm like, "Why do I know that name?" And the whole movie, I'm like, "Who is he?" I can't figure and then I looked it up and I'm like, "Oh my god, he's in Severance."
So, oh yeah, Severance and then The Night of on HBO. Did you ever see The Night of? And some other
But I
HBO
shook my
stuff,
head
which
like I did, didn't I?
I believe the writer of this movie actually, he's a crime writer that Richard Price did the screenplay, and he did a couple different HBO shows, I believe, including The Night of. He wrote for The Wire as well. The Night
Fucking love The
of,
Wire.
The Outsider. So yeah, so in John Turturro's in The Outsider too, isn't he? Maybe he's in The
Is that
Night
the one with
of. I can
Jason
tell you that.
Bateman?
Yeah,
That was
based
really
on the
good.
Stephen King one. Yeah, is
But
John
I didn't
Turturro
know
in
who
that?
John Turturro was at that time, so I can't tell
Oh,
you. When I watched it, I didn't know who he was.
no, I don't actually think he was in it. I think I'm just confusing
Jason
HBO
Bateman, though,
people.
still hot.
Jason Bateman still in there.
Still hot in that
Okay.
one. I don't care. Go ahead. This movie
Oh,
is not about Jason Bateman.
this Jason Bateman was the Iggy Pop character. So other themes that I had, you can't hide from who you really are, and then there's also the times they are a changing because like. Fast Eddie says back in his day, it was all about booze, and now it's amphetamines and cocaine, and even the different style of pool that's being played. They're not playing straight pool; they're playing nine ball, and just kind of
Actually,
the
that's how I
passage
learned
of
how to play
time.
pool, was straight
Nine
pool.
ball?
I
Oh,
never
straight
I never
pool.
played 9 ball before. Mm-mm.
I've played nine ball maybe once or twice in my life. I honestly had to look up the rules, even though I think it's pretty apparent
He
from
says
watching the movie what
Martin
the
says it
rules
at the
are.
beginning of the movie.
Yeah, well, whatever.
I wasn't paying attention. I'm Paul. I paid
I was too
attention.
busy talking.
I had a pool table in my basement as a youth, and I don't know if it was because of this movie or not, but I learned on the felt. Learned on the felt in the
Uh,
basement.
I would like to play pool with you, and if you want a pool table, you can probably have my parents. They were trying to get rid of it. I think it's still there, and they're willing to give it away for free as long as you'll just pay to move it.
I mean, I guess we'd have to put it in the basement, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, we're gonna cut that out, Matt Turner.
oh, did we even watch a movie? Do we just want to chat because we haven't seen each other?
No,
Okay.
I want to talk about the
Confidence.
movie.
Well, my big thing was just like the confidence getting you in trouble, but this was me more thinking about Vince and just his overconfidence getting him in trouble. And I
Mhm.
wrote Marty exclamation point like
Well, yeah, everyone in this movie trips over their own ego so many times, just like Marty.
mhm. Yeah, because then I also wrote, yeah, obviously pride and ego. The movie is powered by the ego of these
Hmm.
2 men. Vince's ego is loud and reckless, right? You know, he's always dancing around the table, using it as a like a
A
wand and like
sword or
yeah,
whatever.
like swording around and just like getting
Swording
himself into
around.
a
I like that.
mess. Yeah, he's just swording around, just getting
Can we do a
himself into a
samurai or like
mess.
ninja theme one month and call it swording around?
Swording around with Paul and Katelynn. Uh, and then Eddie's ego, is like a quiet, kind of deeper ego, but their clash isn't just generational. Um, it's about, defining what the winning really means for each of them. Because for Vincent, obviously, it's like, I gotta win, I gotta get the money, like, I gotta show the other person that I'm better at playing than them, which is again a lot like Marty, right? Like
Hmm.
he didn't care if he looked stupid or he's fucking somebody over or whatever it was. He was like, I'm getting out there, I'm going to win. So everybody knows that I'm a winner and I'm the best at playing this game. And, that's the same thing here, sorting around
Sorting around. I think you get some of that from Eddie too, though, because I mean, one of my favorite moments. I have
but
this
in a
under cinematic
quieter
moments.
way, right? I mean, I'm
But
right in
yeah,
that.
one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie is after he beats Vincent in the tournament and
Hmm.
he's kind of walking away and then he turns around, goes outside and just lets out a woo.
Yeah.
And you see in that moment just how much that meant to him to not just beat Vincent and prove that he's better than him. Even though
Even though
spoilers,
just,
we
even like a still
turns
got it.
out Yeah, still got it, and it turns out that Vincent threw the match because he was all about making money,
The
but
hustler
the
hustled
hustler,
the hustlee
well,
and
he
hustled
he
the
took all the
hustler.
lessons that Eddie taught him to heart. But for Eddie, it turns out that maybe money isn't the most important thing. I love when he says, money won is better than money earned because we love going to the casino. But when it comes down to it, I don't think Eddie actually believes that because what is most important for him is proving himself as the best player. And so I have tying this into my favorite topic, capitalism,
I
the
knew you were gonna
pursuit.
go.
The
I almost
pursuit of
tried to figure
money
out what it
alone.
was so I could write it myself and get it before you did. And I was like, forget
Yeah,
it. You know
maybe
I'm
next
never gonna
time.
get it.
But anyway, the pursuit of money alone does not fulfill you. And I think that is something that Eddie learns throughout the course of the movie
Well, he's never won
because
at Huff and More Puff Mansion Edition then. So
well, I don't know. Did it make you want to go to Atlantic City when they were in that
oh
casino?
my gosh, Paul, yes. I thought, would this be like a place we should try out? Because I mean, also it's by the water. We could do a little beach like
I
time.
know. Tim Darnell does say Atlantic City is a piece of shit, though. So
Yeah, well, because everything I know about Atlantic City I saw in The Sopranos, right? That's
yeah.
in New Jersey. Yeah.
What's the Boardwalk Empire? Isn't that Atlantic
Well,
City?
that one too, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to go back though to the money part if we could. We're still kind of on
Money,
that, but
please. Yeah.
money, please. But I almost wrote the exact same thing that you said because I said that despite the title, the movie argues that money isn't even the real prize. Like what Eddie and Vincent are chasing is more of that validation, um, the proof that they're great. And then for Eddie that he didn't lose his edge, his
Yeah.
yes, like I still got it moment. So it's not really about the color of money. It's about the
And
color
Katelynn,
of friendship. No, I'm kidding. Do you remember that
what
movie?
color of I watched The Color of Friendship so many times. Oh man,
How did I know?
that's a great movie. Oh, what else did we have to talk about here? Yeah.
We did cast, so you want to talk about a few of your favorite moments in and cinematic? You can kind of.
Oh yeah. So I did touch on the whole woo scene when you can tell how happy Eddie is. Then the scene with Tom Cruise when Werewolves of London is playing and he's at the like all black pool hall and is just kind of dancing around. That entire shot, like just really cool. I mean, Tom Cruise looks like kind of a dork, but it tells you everything you need to know about his character
Well, the
in that
man
one
loves to
scene.
dance.
That
The
man
man loves
does
to
love to
dance.
dance.
Yeah, I mean, even just Googling what everybody like loves about the movie and just like what were favorite parts of, collectively, since I wasn't really into it when it came out to see what everybody was into. That's the big one, the Werewolves of
Yeah,
London scene. Everybody
it's such
loves
a
it.
fun scene, and I've had that song stuck in my head for so many days now.
Well, because I thought it
Um,
was the other version of it. I was
oh,
like getting ready to sing it, and I was
you
like,
you
"Oh,
were thinking it
that's
was Werewolf Bar Mitzvah?
yes." Oh man. Uh Man alive. I said that he does love a little dance. He likes to shake his little tush. That's what I wrote. His
He
tush.
does,
I
and
wrote his
good
tush.
for him. What was I just gonna say? Oh yeah, just I know I make fun of Timmy a lot for the Bob Dylan movie, and I like to say that learning to sing and play the guitar is not that impressive. Sorry, Timmy, but I did think it was really impressive that Tom Cruise learned, like he was
Learn to
doing
play
all the
pool.
shots. They got so many cool shots because Tom Cruise is actually making all of these shots. So I
Mhm.
was listening to, I think it was the Rewatchables. It might have been another podcast, but there was only one shot in the movie that Tom Cruise
The
didn't
one where
make, and it
he bounced the ball
yeah,
over
yeah, yep. And
because he
it
said it would
wasn't
take
because
too
he couldn't
long
do
to
it.
learn.
Wow, I guess we discovered the same things. So I'm just gonna stop doing research. Why even have a podcast?
I'll just do this alone. I got it.
Yeah,
Don't worry. Um Shoot, I thought I wrote that about it. Oh yeah, the double ball jump. That's what I wrote. That's all I wrote about it. I thought it was
yeah,
cool. It was a good
it was
shot.
cool.
E- Everything that he did camera-wise with the shots of pool tables, I think was quite fun. And, quick moving, following the balls, and you felt like you were part of the not just the game, but you were part of the table. Like maybe I
Yeah,
was one of the balls. Like I kind of felt like
no,
I
that
was
was
one of the
really
balls.
cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Martin Scorsese's style really comes through because he's obviously known
Yeah.
for a lot of the quick movement and just kind of acrobatic camera work sometimes. And that's kind of hard to do when you're just in like a dingy little pool hall, but he made the dingy little pool hall just seem like something more than it was. And
And
yeah.
speaking of the camera work specifically, you could even see just like if it was the that opening break, it would move much faster. And
Yeah.
then if you were just if he was just lightly tapping, it would move kind of with the speed that the ball would be at.
Hmm.
And again, like you said, Tom Cruise actually playing the game. I mean, it's a tough game. Pool is not easy, and there is that restraint that you need to take with shooting the balls, or the big breaks and the big shots and all that other stuff. And as a young kid, I practiced a lot of that stuff. I could never do a double ball jump move. Don't get me wrong, but um, it wasn't that bad. So
We'll have to play pool sometime because I'm terrible. I'm always like, okay, I understand how angles work. I know how to line up this shot, and then I just completely
we'll
biff
see if I
everything.
still
So
got it. If I do, you're gonna find me. Yes. Invite me out in the courtyard. Did you have any other
and
favorite moments? Sorry.
I might have. I don't know. Oh, when
This
they're
is
doing like the hustle, like the two brothers and a stranger, and you can see how pissed off Tom Cruise is getting when they're like kind of
oh
playing
my
grab ass a little
gosh.
bit.
Well, I still don't
He was really
understand
good in
that
this movie.
hustle. I still don't understand that hustle because if it's two brothers and a stranger and you're supposed to play two brothers, why did he have his hands all over her?
I think they just kind of
Who was the stranger?
they were the two brothers. He was the stranger.
So they just had to act really close. That was the
They,
gimmick, was that
well, they were
they're
playing
two,
a
like,
couple,
really
not
close.
two brothers.
So it could just be a fill-in for anybody, brother and
It just
sister,
yeah.
two lovers, whatever. Okay.
I mean,
I
it
mean, it
was
worked.
yeah. Well, it was kind of so in Marty Supreme when Tyler and Timmy are doing it. That's just two
And they
brothers without
pretended
the
to be,
stranger.
yes, they were
Yeah.
pretending that
Or I guess they were
they
just
were
two
they
strangers.
were
They
strangers. They were
didn't
two
know each other.
strangers.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, man, we're
And
getting to
like
know so much about hustling.
I think we might need to try it out. Do you think we should try out a hustle?
How can we just hustle people with this podcast? Like, make them think it's actually interesting.
Uh,
Sick burn on us. Hey, this podcast is
uh,
great, everyone. Tell your friends. If you want to hear some
uh.
old people complain about how kids shouldn't talk during movies, this is the
Yeah,
podcast for you.
we did a nice 45 minutes of it, so you guys are in luck.
With about 5 minutes of The Color of Money, and most of it's just us complaining about the youths.
Most of it's me mispronouncing things and not understanding words.
What
The
was it? A
only
triquel? A trequel?
triquel and sword stuff, or sword moves.
Sorting
This is where I
around.
sorting around. This is the only, or this is, oh my gosh, I can't even talk. This is where I wrote that there was much less deaths and blood.
There
Was under cinematic moments because I kind of missed it.
much less than a typical Martin movie, and much less than Marty Supreme. Hey, Martin Scorsese, Marty Supreme, two
Well,
Martys.
we're really connecting the dots here. It's almost
We
like
really
there's a
are.
theme on screen.
Well, it's like you don't really need to see The Hustler to understand this movie, and I hope you don't need to listen to our Marty Supreme episode to understand this podcast, but I bet it would add a little extra context if you went back and listened to that one.
Good plug. Good plug. What did you think about the ending?
I loved it. I love the ambiguous nature. I think it showed that the match itself is not ultimately matters. What it doesn't matter who wins or loses that match. It's about Eddie rediscovering who he is, and like, the fact that you hear him just kind of jubilantly elate, like, I'm back. It is literally about him. I don't know. You could call it how fast Eddie got his groove back,
You probably could call it that. I
because
did
that's the
not
point
like
of the
it.
movie. And of course you didn't.
I know, but I'm not a fan of an ambiguous ending. I think that it can work in some places, but I think I was just so frustrated already because he accelerated that ending for me. I felt like I said, how the last half hour was more just Eddie focused, and then it just felt like it was over. It was just such a quick kind of wrap up for the movie, and then he cut it, and I'm back, cut to black, and I'm just like, great, what?
I guess I didn't feel that way at all. I just felt like the entire movie was the journey of Eddie rediscovering the person who Eddie is, even though that person might be kind of a shithead.
I think
And
this movie wasn't for me. It's just another one that wasn't made for Katelynn.
man, you were so wrong about
I
that.
I said I'm giving it a 3 though, because I did think it was good.
But then you just said it wasn't for you. So I guess one problem I do have
Not
with the
only
ending,
movies that are 5 stars are for me,
maybe not. We'll never
only
know.
restaurants.
I did say one problem I had with the ending is poor Janelle is never going to take that trip to the Bahamas.
But she is gonna move in with him.
Well, maybe, but he's talking about meeting him at another tournament next month in Dallas or whatever. So is Eddie really going to settle down now that he's become the person that he was always kind of? Like, like I said, the person that Eddie becomes maybe isn't a great person. Being out on the road all the time, hustling. I don't know if you'd say those are stellar citizens.
I think that's why I thought the ambiguous nature of it didn't totally fit because you're right. It did kind of sound like he was ready to go do some more. And it's like, okay, do we need a triquel out of this at this point? Like it felt like he was ready to go do more. Like there should be a whole nother film now of them on their next hustle. And now they're partners hustling and they're hustling their way through their next destination, you know? And so that's why I was like, I don't want it cut off, but not I mean, it had to end, but, it just felt like there should be more there. Does that make sense?
I mean, I guess if that's how you felt, but I felt like that was the perfect way
You
to end
felt
it
like that was a
because
good closure?
that was it's really not about what happens next. It's about he has reached this point where he's become the person that he wants to be. So whether or not that's a good thing, that it was the natural conclusion of what was going to happen. Like, I don't know, what would have been a better ending? Like, I guess I don't really want to see them on the road hustling together. I don't want to see him settling down with Janelle. Just realizing that Fast Eddie, I don't know, let's say Eddie does become Fast Eddie again. Let's say that.
Well, I just came up with an ending. It's also it's a little bit like Thelma and Louise. They put
They drive
their
off a cliff.
they put their pool sticks into the back seats and the doors shut and they just drive off. They're ready for their
Hmm.
next adventure. At least there would have
Yeah,
been some hope. Like, and then maybe even Carmen's just like, I'm out of here. And then touches her cross
but
necklace,
why would have Carmen
bringing
left?
it
Why
back.
would Carmen have left? I feel like
Because
she
she's
was
done with
kind
the
of in a good
hustle. She
place.
got what she needed. Remember, she took the
Well,
money.
but there's still more money to be made. Or do you think they're just driving off in the car together to like play straight pool? They're not going to hustle anymore.
Okay, we'll put Carmen in the car.
What about Chanel? I did say another, maybe not
God
cinematic
damn it,
moment, but
Eddie!
I really like the line, I'm going to come over later, I'll make you eggs, because it's like, oh yeah, that's smooth, because you're going to make her eggs for breakfast.
Oh. I thought he
Didn't
just liked eggs.
you
I've never been
didn't
hit
get that
on. I've
pickup
never
line?
hit on anybody. No one's ever said something like that to me. But
Neither
oh
have
my gosh,
I.
wait. No, you know what it is? A Night at the Roxbury. Do you remember A Night at the Roxbury? When he's
Blind
like,
spot.
what kind of pancakes do you like? Because I want to know what to order you in the morning.
Yeah, that's not
That's
as
it.
cool as Fast Eddie, but yeah, that's
They weren't
same
smooth or
gist.
cool. Just watch the
Yeah.
movie. They're not smooth or cool.
Well, I think I know enough about the SNL sketches to know that they're not cool, but yeah,
Yeah. All right. That is all I have for the movie because we are
we're
getting to the
creeping
end
up
of our
there on
time.
time.
Yeah, we don't want the
Um,
people to be here forever. We gotta fit within a car ride.
we do have to fit within a car ride. So, yeah, I don't really think I have any other thoughts. I think we've touched on everything. I'm sorry that you are wrong about this movie, and it is better than you thought it was.
I said it was good. I said it was a decent movie. I wish that John had watched it with me. I think he would have really liked it.
I think
He
you would have
did
liked
not.
this too. Well,
I really think he would have liked it. I think he would have really
yeah.
liked it, but he
What was he
decided not
doing?
to.
Just playing pool by himself?
Learning the art of the hustle alone
Yeah.
at a bar. No, I don't remember what he was doing. I think he was. I said I'll watch it with you. Or he was gonna go. He was gonna leave one night, and I said, "Do you want me to watch it the next night when you'll be here, or watch it tonight?" And he said, "Just watch it tonight." So he
Well,
passed.
I hope that you tell him that he was wrong.
I did. I did.
Okay.
All right, wrap it up.
So wrap it up. On movie shout outs. I guess the other night Katie was gone and I was feeling pretty down on movies, so I started watching the most recent season of Demon Slayer that I haven't seen. And
Mhm.
so that's fun. I'm just jumping back into some anime. I haven't really watched anime in a while, and Demon Slayer is a good time. And I'm gonna give the opposite of a shout out if that's okay. Can we just say fuck ice?
There we go. You heard it right here, folks. Fuck 'em.
Fuck ice. What about you, Caitlin? Do you have any non-movie shout outs or fuck yous?
Yeah, fuck ice. Also, thank you so much. And I wanted to give a shout out to the couple next to me and my friend Allison. We went out the past weekend. There was a couple sitting next to us at the restaurant, and we got our drinks, and it was a martini. And you know how much I love martinis, right? So I was like getting excited about it. I'm like, this is a beautiful martini. And the guy goes, "Would you guys like me to take a photo of you?" And I was like, yeah, sure. Because I mean, not a lot of people offer to take photos. Like, I try if I see people like taking a selfie, I'll say, "Would you like me to take a photo of you?" Because it's a better look than a selfie. So I thought that was really nice. So shout out to the couple that sat next to us at the restaurant. The picture is absolutely horrible. We look awful. And so, but it was nice of him to offer, and it was
It's
a
the thought
great
that counts
martini.
sometimes.
Yeah, the thought that counts. What are we watching next, Paul?
We are going to be watching Jerry Maguire. I feel like maybe that's a bit ambiguous when it comes to it's about a sports agent, so it's sports adjacent, right?
It's sports adjacent, and I guess the theme is also just Tom Cruise at this point.
Katelynn is low key working for the Church of Scientology, so
Oh, well, I gotta do what
we've
I
got
gotta
to
do, all
make
right?
money somehow. So, yeah, yeah,
Fuck
Scientology.
ice, but we're
If
into
you want us to,
Scientology, yeah.
our beliefs are all over the place.
Who knows what we're into anymore?
All right. Well,
Okay.
everyone, thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out. Again, I would love to hear your thoughts on movie theater etiquette, if there's anything we can do to make movie theater etiquette better. And if you want to reach us, Katelynn will tell you where to find us.
I also just thought of another idea really quick that you and I
Yeah.
just take a part-time job at the theater and we
We just
we just
become like
wield
projectionists, even though I think everything's digital.
we just wield our walkie-talkie and make everybody shut up. Um,
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram at theme.onscreen. We're also on Letterbox Theme on Screen. That's where we'll put all of our movies that we are watching so that you guys can follow along. My personal Instagram is at Katelynn Pedri. Paul's is at Paul Gursky. And we're on TikTok also, Theme on Screen.
And
That's it.
hopefully by the time this episode goes up, we will also be on YouTube. I'm going to do my best to set up a
Oh,
YouTube channel for us this
all
weekend.
right. We'll
So
let you guys know.
maybe we'll see you guys there.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for listening. Love you. Bye.
Bye. We'll see you next time.